Today we are going to discuss third point from basic arithmetic is inverse ratio. How to find inverse ratio, and this inverse concept is much more important in all the areas of the arithmetic topic. Let us say how to calculate the inverse for the ratio 3:5, where two terms are there in ratio. The inverse is clearly what we say, that is reverse. The inverse of 3 is called 5 and the inverse of 5 is called 3. So the inverse ratio of 3:5 is 5:3, and the inverse ratio of where 3 terms are given 2:3:5, where 3 terms are given there. How to find the inverse ratio? Now here be careful in calculating the inverse ratio more than 2 terms, like the inverse of 2 is 3 and 5 product. So 3 and 5 product is 15, is called the inverse of 2 is 15. And the inverse of 3 is calculated the product of the other things, like 2 into 5 is 10. And the same way the inverse of 5 is calculated the product of the first 2 terms, 2 into 3 is 6, is the inverse ratio of the given 2:3:5. Okay, even if more than 3 is given, like 2:3:4:5, even 4 terms are given, even we can find that in the same way the inverse of 2 is the product of the remaining 3, 4, 5. 3 4s are 12, 12 5 60, and the inverse of 3 is 2 4s are 8, 8 5s are 40, and the inverse of 4 is the product of the remaining 3, 2 3s are 6, 6 5s are 30. And the inverse of 5 is 2 3s are 6, 6 4s are 24, is the inverse ratio, where if calculations are there, right, 2 30s, 2 20s, 2 15,